Hi YouTube friends, it's Diaper Kiddo Jason, and I have a topic that I'd like to discuss with you guys this week that I sort of hinted at in my last video, but I want to go into more depth and more detail this week. But before I do, I want to show you something that I got in the mail this week. So, I got a new onesie, and let me see if I can scoot back far enough where you can see me. So, I saw this on Amazon, and I thought it was really cute. I haven't really seen a lot of AB clothing that's more like boy themed. Like, obviously this is unisex, it can be worn by anyone, but I haven't seen a lot in the way. Sorry, my chair is stuck. I haven't seen a lot in the way of anything specifically for boy littles, which kind of ties into what I want to discuss this week. But I found this on Amazon. I sort of fell in love with it. It's super cute. Let me stand up. I think it's super cute, and I had to have it basically, and it was pretty reasonable. I think I paid like $17 or so for it. So of course I ordered it, and then after I ordered it, like, I discovered something that I didn't super like about it. It's made by the company Also Cute, which is not super. That company kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. But the seller was not named Also Cute, and I didn't find out that it was actually manufactured by Also Cute until after the fact. But I went ahead and ordered it. It came in this week. It was, for whatever reason, it took twice as long to get here as what the listing said it would. I'm glad that I ordered it. It is really cute, and the fact that it's more boy themed is kind of awesome, because like I said, I don't see that very often. There are a few downsides that make me less than happy with it. For one thing, I'm going to come in close, and all of the numbers have like embroidery around the edges, and so do the letters. Like, it's a raised kind of hard embroidery, as does the baseball down here. And the downside to that is that I'm having so much trouble with my tripod today. The downside to that is that it's embroidered on the backside, like on the wrong side of the fabric that's facing my body, is the backside of the embroidery. And there's little kind of hard pokey spots in the embroidery that are rubbing against my skin. In fact, down by the baseball, right around, yeah, right there, there's a piece that's embroidered in that has rubbed a red spot onto my side, which is not great. That's not really what I look for in cute AB clothing. Is it kind of needs to be comfortable. Like, to me, that's a big deal. It's not a deal breaker. Like, I tried wearing this with an undershirt, and it did do much better. I have to admit, it did much better with an undershirt. But, like, let's see if I can come closer so you can actually see this. Like, on the back side, like, you see where it's raised up. That's the part that's rubbing me in different places, and it's not super comfortable. So, as far as like the aesthetics, I definitely give it a 10. Oh my god, I'm doing a review, guys. Make note of this moment, because I really don't want to do reviews, but as far as like the look of it, I really do enjoy it. I think it's super cute. You know, it's definitely more boy themed, although, you know, girls, sissies, anybody can wear it, of course, but it's got more of a boy vibe to it, just because of the sports aesthetic. So I do like that. The comfort is not there. If it wasn't for the embroidery, I'd like it a whole lot more. Like, it's heavy material, like a really thick cotton, or a cotton blend, and so it's got quality to it. Like, I'm not sure about the snaps. They're very, very small, and I see them tearing from the ribbing at the crotch. But like, that hasn't happened, so maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. But I was really happy to get this in, despite the fact that it's supporting a company that I find somewhat questionable. I was really happy to get this. It is very, very cute. I am, however, going to change for the next segment of this video because, like, I don't want to sit here, like, itching the whole time. So bear with me for just a moment. I'm just going to go change into something a little bit more comfortable, and then I'll be right back with you guys. But before I do that, because I forgot to show you guys, one of the features that I really like about this, and I can't believe that I forgot to include this the first time, is it matches with my Fila Velcro shoes really, really well. So, like, it's definitely starting to become an outfit here. But let me go change for just a moment, and then I will be right back with you. Alright, YouTube friends, I'm back. Thank you so much for your patience. Sorry about that. I really had to change. Just because of, like I said, how scratchy the inside of that onesie is. So I'm back in my Doraemon jammies, and so you can see me a little better without that shadow. So like I said, I wanted to talk to you guys this week a little bit about the topic of aging and growing older, and sort of what that's doing to me, you know, psychologically, and how I'm dealing with it and things like that. Where did I leave my coffee? Sorry, hold on. I am so unprepared for this video today. Oh, there it is. Oh my god, sorry about that. I need to, like, be more prepared for these videos. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about was aging, and I'm gonna do something that I promised myself I would not do. But because I love you guys, and for the purposes of this video, I'm gonna do it. Maybe I'll title this video Age Reveal. So you guys know I'm in my late 30s. On September 8th of this year being 2018, depending on when you're watching it, I am going to be turning 40 years old. I am 39 years old, and like 39 and 10.5 months, I think. And I definitely feel like I look it, like, I feel like I look my age, and I really never have looked my age until recently. So I've been a part of the ABDL community for a pretty long time now. Really pretty much my entire adulthood. Like, the internet, like, I first came online and like really started, you know, participating in the internet around 1997, I think, which is when I was 18. And so I've been creating content for this community since I was 20, I think, which would have been around 99 or maybe 2000, that I've been sharing on the internet. And I'm going to put up on screen, you know, during this video, I'm going to put up on screen some of the pictures that I took back in the day, which it's utterly horrifying that we're talking about 20 years ago. Wow. But I'm going to show you guys what I used to look like versus what I look like now. I was cute. Like, I was cute. You know, and I hope that you don't think that that's ego talking, because I'm not cute anymore like I was. I was thin. I was rail thin. Like, some of the pictures, I was like almost unhealthy skinny. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't have that problem anymore. I am no longer unhealthy skinny. I am more than healthy. But my skin was clear. You know, I have like some sort of like rosacea or something now. Like, my skin gets really red, especially if I get in any kind of direct sunlight for more than 5 seconds. Then I start blotching. but my skin was clearer. I didn't have the wrinkles that are starting to show on my face. I've got crow's feet. I've got lines on my forehead now. Um, you know, that's definitely something that I'm noticing as I get older. Um, I don't know. I was like really cute, and I definitely don't look the same way now, which I'm kind of okay with, to be honest. Like I try to take care of myself as much as I can. I, moisturize my skin like 2 and 3 times a day. I wear sunscreen if I'm going out into the sunlight, including I've got a tube of sunscreen for my lips, which if you guys haven't tried this stuff, like, this stuff is amazing. It feels so good, but this is not a product review channel. But, I try to take care of myself best I can. Because obviously nobody wants to deal with the visible effects of aging, especially, somebody in the ABDL community. As an adult baby, obviously I don't want to look older, I want to look younger, but I am happy with my appearance, and, I don't think that I'm like the best looking person in the world, but I do try to take care of myself, and once upon a time I was, not bad to look at, and, over time you can definitely see, how my physical appearance has changed, and it is kind of a bummer. It is kind of a downer, but with that being said, I also don't mind my age. Yes, there have been negative effects to aging. My joints pop sometimes. I don't have the kind of energy that I did when I was in my, late teens and early 20s. But I am also a different person mentally and emotionally. I feel like I have matured a lot in that time. I'm more compassionate. I feel like I'm a more interesting person than I was then. There are definitely positive effects to aging too. And so I try to, as much as I can, embrace my age. Like, I'm not thrilled about aging, but I would not want to be the person I was when I was 21 or 22 again either. I like the person that I have become, and I'm proud of my progress as a human. Like, I've never been like mean or, obnoxious or anything like that. But I am a much more compassionate person. I'm a much more open-minded person. I'm a much more experienced person. I'm more well-traveled. And so, these are the positive effects of aging. I feel like a stronger person emotionally, and I'm more in tune with myself than I was, in my late teens and early 20s. I feel more positively about the person that I am. I have better self-esteem. And a lot of that comes from some of the things that I've had to survive through in my life. So this is going to be kind of a real talk video. Because I'm going to share some things that I don't generally talk about with you guys. And I'm not saying anything that I'm going to be saying for the purposes of garnering sympathy from you guys or anything like that, because any of the bad things that have happened in my life, I'm over at this point. But they are formative, and they do kind of inform who I am today. So when I was in my, I think, mid-20s, yeah, it would have been around my early to mid-20s, I found myself in an abusive relationship, a physically abusive, mentally abusive, emotionally abusive relationship. And to the point that this all happened in my early to mid-20s, like 23, and I am 39 now, and when I was 35 years old, I had to have major reconstructive surgery on my left foot. My left foot is being reinforced, the bones are being reinforced with titanium plates and rods because of the physical abuse that I sustained in the relationship that I was in. And I didn't know how to stand up for myself. And So, one of the positive effects of aging is that I know how to stand up for myself now. I would never find myself in that kind of a position again and be passive about it. I would leave and I would press charges and I would do a lot of the things that I didn't do in that relationship. And around the time that I was in that relationship that was so just emotionally bruising and, damaging to my self-esteem and physically damaging. I mean, I still have scars on my hand from trying to defend myself, and, I don't think you guys are really going to be able to see, but right along here is the scar from where I had to have the metal put into my foot. So this was not a good relationship. And around that time that I was in that relationship, and this is not something I talk about very often, but I want to be as open with you guys as possible. Around that time, I was raped. I was sexually assaulted by my roommate. It was after my foot had been broken. The person I was in a relationship with, I was living with that person and one other person. And the person that I was in the relationship with, on one very, very bad night, parked a car on my foot. He didn't intend to, but he certainly didn't do anything to get the car off of my foot. And he shattered the bones in my foot. And so I ended up being on really heavy painkillers. And one night I went to bed, and I took my painkillers, and when I woke up or kind of came to, my roommate, not the person I was in a relationship, was on top of me, penetrating me. And, full disclosure, my roommate and I had fooled around. We had had sexual relations before. When I was awake and when I was lucid and capable of giving consent. And in this situation, I was not. And it was devastating because, my roommate was sort of like somebody that I could talk to when my relationship got too abusive. He didn't really try to protect me or anything, but at least I could talk to him, and I felt very isolated during that relationship, and this person raped me. And there's no other way to put it. This person raped me. Without having consent, this person sexually assaulted me anally. And that altered me for a very, very long time. Sexually, I wasn't comfortable with anything anymore. I never did the thing that some sexual assault victims do where they blame themselves. I didn't blame myself. I knew who was responsible for this. And it for damn sure wasn't me. But, I wasn't comfortable with sex anymore. And that carried all the way into my relationship with my husband. It took him and it took patience for me to become comfortable with that again. So that was a life-altering experience. That was something that I would never wish on anyone, ever. No one deserves to feel that way. But at the same time, and this does tie into what I'm talking about in this video, which is why I mentioned it, I am grateful for every bad experience that I ever had in my life. And that sounds so strange to say, that I'm grateful for having been, physically abused in a bad relationship, and I'm grateful for having been raped. But I am. And, hear me out, because I know this sounds insane. So, these events that happened to me are part of what has shaped me into the person that I am now. And I like the person that I am now a lot. I feel better about myself than I ever did when I was a teenager or when I was in my 20s. I like myself now. And these bad experiences that I had during those years helped to turn me into this person who is very compassionate and I'm proud to say that I have an open heart and I have an open mind, and I try to embrace as many types of people as possible. And I genuinely and actively try to help people who are less fortunate than I am, because I know what it's like, and it sucks to not feel like you have anybody that you can turn to when you're in a bad situation. And additionally, there can be a case made that I would have never met my husband if it hadn't have been for these bad, situations that I found myself in. Because they changed who I was, and they changed the way that I approached the world, and they caused me to make decisions that I might not have made the same way in a different life where I wasn't raped and I wasn't, in a physically abusive relationship. I might not have made the decisions that I made. And so there can be a path drawn, of stepping stones that got me to this point in my life where I have met the love of my life, who I love more than anything in this world, that I might not have been in the right place to meet him at the right time if these bad, horrible things had never happened. And so, yeah, I mean, from that perspective and from that way of looking at things, I am grateful for having been raped and for having been in such an abusive relationship, because it has changed who I am fundamentally. I'm stronger than I was, and I like myself, and I like my compassion. And that's something that these bad experiences gave me. And I hate that they happened. I wish that they had never happened on one level. But on another level, it is part of who I am. And I can look at it, and let it transform me in a bad way, or I can try to find the good in every situation and let it transform me in a positive way. And that's what I did. And so I am a more confident person. I have better self-esteem than I did when I was in my early 20s, when those pictures that I showed you were taken. I'm a happier person in general. And I'm happy with my life, and I'm happy with who I am. And so aging and getting older, as far as I'm concerned, is okay. I don't necessarily like all the effects. I don't like the fact that my joints always ache when I get up in the morning and things pop that shouldn't pop. And I don't like the fact that, physically I do look older. I do look older than I did then, obviously, but at the same time, there are positive side effects. And just like I can draw a silver lining from having been raped, I can draw a really big silver lining from getting older, and so I know that people within this community who are older than the 20-somethings tend to not get as much attention. And I know that if I were half the age that I am, my YouTube channel would be a lot bigger. But the fact that you guys are appreciating the content that I'm making, and that it isn't superficially about how twinky I look in a diaper, I appreciate that, and I love you guys for that, because this isn't that kind of channel. I mean, if I wanted to create vaguely erotic content, it wouldn't be on YouTube. So the fact that you guys do show me the love and the attention, and appreciate the content that I'm making, I love you guys. Thank you so much for that. I hope that every person who is brave enough to open themselves up and to put their own images or their own personality, or to create videos and put them on the internet, they deserve appreciation and respect, whether or not that is physically your type or whatever. Unfortunately, within this community, there does seem to be sort of a pecking order of who gets the most attention, and scrawny, young, little white kids, particularly girls, tend to get the most attention. And, that's fine. I mean, show them love. Show everybody else love, too, though. People of color don't tend to get as much attention as Caucasian people. And boys in this community, unfortunately, do not get as much attention as girls do. And, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen on Tumblr memes that say, you know, boy littles are valid too. And yes, they are. Yes, they are. And trans littles are valid. And, you know, overweight littles are valid. And, you know, older littles who are in their 60s or 70s or 80s are valid, you know. And everybody deserves to be appreciated for the courage to share something so special about themselves with the world. And so this is the part of the video where normally I would encourage you guys to, you know, comment, and I'd ask you a question that I know you probably won't answer, and that's totally okay. But I'm not going to do that this week, and I'm not going to ask you guys to subscribe. If you haven't already, you're welcome to, but that's not, you know, a requirement for watching my videos. I just appreciate the fact that you guys like my content. What I'm going to ask you guys to do this week is to, the next time you encounter somebody who's creating content for the ABDL, you know, CGL community, and you would not normally interact with that content, you know, because it's not like your type or whatever, say something nice to that content creator. Tell them thank you for creating for this community. You know, if you're gay, if you're a gay male, and you see, you know, a video and you're recommended that's a female YouTuber, you know, watch the content, and if it's well produced and well created, give that person a like and a nice comment. Say something nice to people. You know, everybody who is part of this community deserves to feel appreciated, regardless of how old they are and how many crow's feet they have. And I am fortunate that I have, you know, you wonderful people to make me feel the love and to make me feel like my content is desired and is appreciated. And I want everybody else to experience that too. So the next time you see somebody brave enough to share this very intimate and special side of themselves with the world at large, tell them thank you, and tell them, you know, good job, I really like your pictures, or your composition and your shots is really good, or, you know, that bunny plushie that you have is adorable. Just say something nice and make them feel appreciated. And that is my request for you guys this week, because you guys make me feel appreciated, and you encourage me to keep doing what I'm doing. And I feel like everyone deserves that. So thank you so much for watching, as always, YouTube. If you decide to look at the onesie that I showed you guys and it's something that you're interested in, bear in mind it's not the most comfortable thing in the world. It is available on Amazon. I will try, if I can remember to during editing, I will try to put a link into the description, but if not, I think if you just search for Also Cute, or if you search for adult baby onesies, I think that's how I found it, and it did take twice as long as it said as it would to come in, unfortunately, and it really isn't the most comfortable thing, but I do feel like, despite the fact that it is Also Cute, and we all know what problems we have with that particular company, I do feel like the fact that it is little stuff designed with a boy aesthetic does kind of deserve to be rewarded, because that doesn't happen really often. So I will try to put a link into the description of this video, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I mean what I say, you guys make me feel loved and appreciated. And don't feel sorry for me or anything like that about the bad stuff that's happened, because we've all had bad stuff happen in our lives. And like I said, there are good sides to everything. There are silver linings to be found in every awful situation if you look hard enough. So I hope that you feel as appreciated as you guys make me feel. And, you know, feel free to reach out to me if you ever need to talk. It's jason@diaperkiddo.com. And I will see you next time, YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys. I don't know where Domino went, but bye, guys.